correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
Welcome to Me and Steve Talk RPG, the podcast where me and my friend Steve...
We're playing games this time.
All right, Eric or Hagan, do either of you guys want to introduce the setting you built?
Go ahead, Hagan. I'm trying to add the...
I was going to say, I'll let you do it because I'm futzing trying to get the... I figured out where to do the changes, but I need to actually do the mods for it.
Sure.
All right.
All right, so I can do that. So we fleshed out some sectors of New Barquat. There are a variety of things that you will see when you come into New Barquat now. The first one you'll see is kind of this marketplace area. It is the kind of the hub. And in this place, there is kind of like people that are trying to get their tech seen as long as marketplace folks. The way the whole of New Barquat is made is that it's kind of almost like a funnel, like a cone, inverted cone that goes like the regular working class folk and things like that are on the top level. Kind of the people that are kind of on the way to making it on the middle level going down, and then the people that have made it are on the bottom level. There are a few modes of transportation here. One is kind of a gondola type system with cables and cars and things like that that go above on the top layer. Some of them go down, but the more kind of trendy, more posh way of doing things is a pneumatic tube system. That's used for transportation of people and goods. What else do we do? So there's a Tinkertown area, which is where the startups are located. So that's the one I was kind of talking about, where all the transportation goes through here. So it kind of moves from here on out. There's also like a resort region, which is in the mid zone. It's a beautiful natural waterfall in it. And there's some spas and things like that that will... they look out into kind of the space area. And then there's an archaeologist guild there where the tech that was here, the reason why this place is as it is it's kind of a floating, kind of broke off from the initial mainland and is a floating kind of island. And the person that created it, and Ben, help me with the name of the elders that made this place, because I don't remember those.
I don't think we made names for them.
Okay, so it was a kind of a lowborn elf and bioroids, and they didn't fully understand the tech that went into making this place what it is. Some of it has to do with the ancient ruins that they have been working through here. So a lot of the place is built into these ancient ruins as they explore it. And then there is a Helios transfer hub. Helios is another faction or nation, essentially, that is kind of the mail couriers and their information brokers as well. Where this place is kind of a place of free information, they like to be connected here to make sure they're in the know still. And then there is an entertainment district, which is a showcase for Battle of Inventions. Think like battle bots, but not just bots, like all of people's inventions. It's like a big kind of almost science fair competition type of area. And then if you get an invitation to it, that's kind of puts you in the know. Everybody can come, but like you really want the invitation so you can be looked at seriously. If you win one of these competitions, that's where you get to move down the ring and kind of be in the mid ring.
So it's kind of like America's Got Talent, but it's a competition around your science or your tech.
I love it. Okay.
There are some people
Like
and places. Oh, go ahead, Terry.
It's like just a televised science fair event.
Yep. When it goes on, I would imagine it's kind of broadcast along various channels throughout the city. And this is, like I said, this city is built on rings, so it's kind of a circular with inverted cone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So places, there's Steve's Special Spa, which is where you get to pretend, rich people get to pretend to be adventurers. It's like kind of like think of almost like what do they call that?
Safari?
Yeah, sort of.
Star Wars, Star Tours at Disney. Like they get the feel like they're slumming it, but it's really a very controlled, fancy.
Oh,
setting.
Westworld.
Yeah,
A bit Westworldy,
but not that like.
No.
And yes,
creepy.
we made sure to name it Steve's Spa.
Yeah.
Um,
There's some really good massages there.
So there is a female dwarf. So everybody here has seen The Fifth Element, right?
Yes.
You remember like the floating junk that serves the Chinese food, Asian food?
Yes.
Instead of serving food, this dwarf flies around in one of those, but she has like various and sundry junk that people will use for their inventions, and she will come to you and she floats all the way up and down the cone.
Mm-hmm.
And she's kind of like the de facto mother of all these inventors. She's been around for a very long time.
Huh.
Everybody loves her. She seems to know a lot of things too, but nobody knows. I mean, she figures that she just gets around, so she knows stuff.
Yeah.
There's the Hal's hydroponic hors d'oeuvres. I assume that's what you meant to write there.
Yes, the alliteration.
Yes. I was thrown off by the spelling because it's not the traditional.
I'm sorry. Are you trying to imply something, Eric?
No, I just wanted to make sure that my understanding of your interpretation of how Horse the Oars is written. It's
Yeah, I couldn't actually get close enough for spell check to help me. So,
so this is a place that's, because there's no real soil here, because it's all basically rocks and ruins.
Mm-hmm.
It's a restaurant that their food is hydroponics, and it's
that's
mostly
clever.
for upscale folks. So
Of
anybody's-
course.
if
And
anybody,
that's most of the farming, most of the farming that's done there is also this is an outgrowth of what this tech they've been researching, because it's hard to get food grown and easily, and they're working out how to do the hydroponic thing. So
So it's vertical hydroponics. So you actually are inside this like tube of water where all these things are being grown. So you actually are looking out through.
That's nifty.
Crops. Yeah.
Yep. There's Grok's Free Exchange Knowledge and Tea Emporium. So it's basically like a tea house that people can share whatever they want to share from information and knowledge, which is one of the key tenets of this place, is that knowledge is not meant to be hoarded away. It's meant to be shared and disseminated. So what better environment to do it in than a tea house?
And the best part was Ben named it Grok's, not getting the reference that Grok is to know something. So when I pointed that out, he's like, "Oh wow, that's even cooler."
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
I know I am. It's tough, but like even on a subconscious level, it's still just there.
He knows things, just not spelling.
Ooh, all right, Steve. I see how it's going to be.
And actually,
true story.
I like the spelling of it, because I can totally picture some character like, just write it and like, okay, close enough, and they're like, nobody knows the other spelling. We'll go with that. That's a good phonetic version.
I actually invented this universe so I can define how anything is spelled. But do you have the other ones, Eric? I guess I posted them all, but
you did. But we can give some flavor to them.
Yep.
So there's the Church of the Omnicia, or Omnissiah.
Yeah, how do I join the Church of the Omnissiah?
So this is an underground religion that is based on technology. So
Yeah,
where
I think that sounds right up Kulweg's avenue. Kulweg is like, can I get on that boat, please?
Yep. So that's a place that you might want to look into because it's all based around how, like, they think that it might not be fully just tech. There's some divinely inspired tech part of it, kind of like a machine god.
Mhm, mhm.
Is this Warhammer?
Yes, it is.
It's a direct ripoff, yes. So
It is a classy interpretation.
There
You
you
leave.
go.
Yeah, because the Warhammer interpretation is not classy.
yeah,
It's not.
No,
It's
not
kind of
at
scary.
all.
Gives me some
It-
nightmares.
yeah,
Well,
this is
Leave them
and
and their toasters alone.
yeah.
Well, and the thing that's really fun about this too is there's a gradient. You know, like there's the hardcore, basically religious about it, and so these would be the antithesis to the cult Sycorax group. And then there's kind of more the people that are like the philosophers of it, and then there's like the actual engineers who probably like follow some of the teachings, but it's more kind of a practicality thing than a religious thing.
Some are just there to be seen. Very social.
Yes, you know, some of it's very performative.
And the last one is there's Larry's Lesser Antiquities, which is an archaeologist guild storefront. So there is an archaeologist guild that is on New Barquat. And this is where they sell things that they find that they don't want to keep for themselves and study further. So like smaller antiquities that people might be interested in, basically curios.
Yeah.
So
Steve, it's the House of Sit.
The Shack of Sit.
Yeah, the Shack of Sit.
It's an actual business somewhere.
Hey,
I see
look,
what-
if you'd shown up last week, you could have thrown that name down, but you missed the window.
The Shack of Sit.
I see what you did there.
Oh my
No, dead serious. Steve's seen the pictures of it.
Yeah, it's like Sean's Sack of Sit.
Oh my god.
It's
That's
like a
real
furniture store in
place.
New Zealand or something.
Yeah.
Of course they do. Of course it was. Oh my god.
I think those are the main things we came up with.
That's brilliant.
I just want to clarify that this is a floating city, that it was originally a ancient city on the surface, that these two founders reactivated some of the tech that they didn't fully understand. So the whole city kind of is floating. So there's a lot of these like ruins, and there's a lot of crypts and things underneath that people are exploring still, while all this other tech is kind of happening up. So it is very much like an inverted, it's basically like an ice cream cone. And so it's floating in there, and there's a lot of stuff below it that are still floating too. So there's a lot of this like really cool kind of debris all around it.
And that's why the lower you get, the better it is, because you get to be kind of more immersed in this kind of floating,
Yes.
almost a ring around it.
Yes, yes. And so there's going to be, and so there can be other, guilds. So the archaeologist guild is both giving people tasks to go out and reclaim things, while also, having resources and researching them. And that's where a lot of their tech comes out of, as opposed to developing new ones. It's reclaiming lost ones. All right. Questions before we maybe play?
I'm ready to go.
Perfect. All right. So the Comet's Tail has been at sale for several weeks now before it finally catches sight of New Barquat hovering on the horizon. A stream of ships come and go, as this is one of the free ports. It is a place of safety that everyone is protected and defended under their magical means. Your ship, having frequented here in the past, is known and is able to approach and finds a dock that it is able to rent at a relatively steep price. But you are being supplemented by the Antilles funds. The captain is going to be staying with the ship and keeping it ready to take off if you so need it, but gives you free reins on your away mission on this magical city.
I'm naming my bat. My bat's name is Arlene.
Arlene
Okay.
the Bat.
All right.
So I'm gonna saddle up Arlene and get her ready to go. and see if anybody else, what everyone else is doing. Everyone ready to go?
I think so.
Yeah, I think Kulweg's gonna just sort of pack up a couple little quick bombs and be out the door. He's ready to go.
Yeah, I already have my stuff set up. I'm already waiting.
All right, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna head out ahead of them and kind of keep an eye out from above.
So you're flying on your bat.
Yes,
Okay.
kind of not too far high above them, like kind of like where they are, but just a little above them.
Okay. So once you start moving into like the Tinker Town proper, that is going to be there's going to be traffic. So we will be making rolls to see if you're hitting stuff.
Okay.
All right. So where are you guys going?
Well, Tinkertown's the first place to start, right?
Cool. So basically, the docks, there's lots of shipping, there's lots of coming and going. You see some of the Helios postal service. They're basically these sleek, very techy looking ships. Just by looking at them, you can tell that they're fast, they're agile with good shields, but you don't see a lot of weaponry on them. You see all manners of ships from all over the Celestria, all over Mimbara, and you're able to recognize just about every version, every age, every nation is here.
Oh, definitely not a place to screw up.
So I'm kind of trying to follow their lead because we don't have communication devices yet, which I'm kind of watching where they go. I'm gonna actually fly and I'm gonna perch on like one of the buildings and kind of
Alright.
watch the Tinkertown Center.
How delicate a landing is your bat able to do? Like, are you maybe messing up this building or?
No, it's nice and easy.
'Kay.
She's light.
And it immediately flings you off because it swings down around the bottom.
Well, that's why I've mounted her backwards.
You've mounted on the other side.
Yep. It's one of those saddles that like spins around.
Cool. So, where are people going? What are people doing? Karlax, what are you doing?
Not really sure at the moment, to be honest.
What can help you make a decision?
Do you remember why we're here?
Honestly, Steve doesn't. Steve's
Wait,
brain turned into mush 2
I was
weeks
gonna say,
ago.
way to throw Steve under the bus here. Damn.
I believe we were looking for more information based on what's embedded in you and how we can do that.
Okay. Yeah, we were looking for there's supposed to be that old specialist researcher dude.
Yep.
So I can't remember which one you guys chose, but you're either trying to get information on the war that's brewing, or you were trying to tap into this knowledge crystal because you failed to do that last time.
We were hoping they were kind of connected, so I think we were starting with the crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And we figured the knowledge-y tech place is probably a good place to go for that.
That sounds really smart.
It wasn't me that picked it. I'm not the smart one.
Well.
Okay. Good start, guys. Solid start.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's not a you thing. There's an entire group of people here. Barney, where are you
I'll
going?
I'll go ahead and go to the Grok?
Like
Glock?
grok? Like to grok something out?
The tea lounge. That's
Grok's
if
free.
we're looking for information, and this is a free information area. I mean, that's probably the place to look for more information, right?
I think free is maybe a strong word. All information can be obtained, but you're often going to be exchanging information for it. So,
right.
So it's not like it doesn't cost money, but it's not like you can just walk and be like, "Give me all your knowledge."
Okay, fair enough.
It's a free exchange of information.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So we're heading there.
Cool. All right. So you are going to walk down kind of the boulevard. There's these bigger streets. There's lots of vendors. This is where most of the food and exports and imports are all coming through. This is a very busy kind of area.
Mm-hmm.
But you round a corner and you see this It almost looks like a library and a tavern mashed together. There's some people sitting outside and they're smoking pipes with just, all these different color smokes, reading books. There's some people playing croquet. And then there's like other people like by an outdoor bar, like drinking beers. And there's just this range of socializations going on.
I will park my bat on the roof.
Sir, come on. What are you doing here?
Parking my bat.
Do you see bat parking anywhere around here? No, you do not. Please move it along.
I don't see no bat parking either.
No.
Well, you're gonna see your animal put in impound soon if you keep this up.
I assure you that shall be no problem. Where can I park her if I can't park her here?
We have stables. That's gonna be a fee, though.
Oh, I was trying to avoid that. That's why I parked her here.
Well, you can always pay the impound lot fee. I'm sure that'll be nice and cheap.
Well, she doesn't really get along with other animals.
Well, and our roof doesn't get along with random animal claws, so be gone.
They're very soft. Would you like to touch them?
No. Why would I want to? I'm not going to climb up there to touch this random bat thing.
I can bring her down to you.
Sir, I don't understand why you think I want to touch a bat. Like,
Have
do
you
you
touched
want?
a bat before? It's a
This
new
is getting
experience.
weird. I feel like this is like a very personal question.
Kulweg is standing on the ground, like watching this whole exchange happen, and just like motioning for you to bring the bat down here.
I start to slowly descend with Arlene. The flap of leathery wings comes down to the street. Just give her a pat.
Just give her
all
a
right.
pat.
She
I'll
lowers
give you
her
a
head.
pat.
Oh, that is surprisingly soft.
I assure
All
you,
right.
she'll be no problem.
I'll make a deal with you. We have let's say our entertainment for some of our younger folks have fallen through. If you take them on rides and keep them alive, then I will let you park your bat on our side yard.
And I lean down and whisper to Arlene, "Are you okay with that?"
Oh man, Prangalar, when was the last time your bat ate a child?
Not for some time.
Not
When
for
I
a
said kept
smaller.
them safe, I didn't think I needed to define that with you guys, but clearly I'm having to.
No, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well, it's your responsibility.
I understand. Where are
Correct.
these youngins?
So a bunch of like kids are just like mauling a side room or something. Like, oh, we're gonna go on a ride. And they just come out and like start swarming Arlene.
I will reassure Arlene that I'm sure it'll be okay. And I'll lean down and say, "Who wants to hold on to the claws?"
Like it's just a swarm of kids that are just like having the time of their lives.
So much like they're not sitting on the saddle, but much like they grabbed, I believe it was Groth. She's going to pick two of them up in her claws and take them for a fly around.
100%. They're loving it. One of the kids does vomit at one point, but it's like, oh my gosh!
It's okay because it was over the city.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
just
Not
like
like
it's
you have
raining.
to clean your bat or nothing.
So where this is happening, what is everyone else doing?
Well, of course, I believe I'll be just going right to the front of the bar
Okay.
and introduce myself to the bartender there.
So it's this very large orc who's actually got like reading glasses on and actually has like a book stand, and every now and then is like reading books while he's making food and mixing drinks and doing stuff. Right, what can I do for you?
My compatriots and I are looking for information.
Right, what can I do for you?
Well, okay, I forgot. What information are we looking for?
I feel like that's not a question I can answer for you.
I was asking my compatriots. Sorry, one moment.
It's all good. I got other people I can take care of.
Yes.
He's like moved down the bar, and he's now reading his book while doing drinks. Like,
What were we asking about again? I'm so sorry, I forgot.
we believe, until someone re-listens to the audio and tells us it's different, that you guys were trying to better understand this knowledge or memory crystal that is currently embedded in Karlax.
Okay. Oh, excuse me, bartender. May I have
Yeah.
your... Yes, of course. Thank you very much, kindly.
Of course.
Now, have you seen a friend, someone like my friend here, or heard about any ancient construct research going on?
Of course.
And would you happen to know where that location may be?
I mean, I feel like you're going to come into my establishment and not even buy a drink and
Oh,
just.
no, of course I'm going to buy a drink. I was wondering if you knew, and then we could establish a proper agreement. No offense mean, of course.
Oh no, I misunderstood. I apologize. Of course I know. If I don't know, I know someone who does know. So I'm sure we can make this whatever knowledge you're seeking is accessible here at my emporium.
Excellent.
Right. This is kind of stretching out into an awkward silence. So like usually this is the
an
point where people
emergency.
order. Oh,
Sorry about that. My
you're
bad.
good.
I'll have a round for all my friends here, and myself.
Perfect. What do you want a round of?
How about your finest ale would be heavenly?
Right. I don't know if you missed the sign out front, but it says Tea Emporium.
Well, then I'll have some of your finest teas.
Perfect. Do you prefer something that finishes cleaner? Do you like a little bit more bite, a little more herbal, a little more berry, or should I just go crazy?
Oh, a good surprise for all of us would be lovely.
Perfect. I've been working on this new blend actually. And
Oh.
he's gonna.
I would love to try it and give you my honest opinion.
I always enjoy a good tea critic. So you guys know those like things that absinthe like comes in. I don't actually know what it's called, but he's gonna like get one of those.
Oh, the diffuser?
Sure, isn't a diffuser like something that puts stuff into the air?
Diffuser can also, I believe, account for things that like puts
for
things out into
cannons.
water. Yeah.
Okay. So then, yeah, so it's like this diffuser. It's got like crystals and magic and is glowy. But there's this water that's not, just straight water. It's got some funky color, and you see like different leaves and different herbs kind of like circulating in this thing. And he like picks it up, and this thing looks really big and heavy, but he moves it no problem. Like puts it on a table for you guys. And like you guys each get these nice little cups, and there's little spigots so that you can actually dispense some of this tea into each of your cups.
So it's like a tea hookah?
Sure.
All right, I like it. Fancy
Explain
tea.
it. Explain it further, Eric. What is a tea hookah?
So I'm just thinking for like when people sometimes if they smoke various tobacco or other substances, there is a Middle Eastern style where there's basically like a bulbous shaped decanter with
I know what a hookah is.
Oh, I thought you were telling me that you didn't know what a hookah was.
No, describe this tea hookah. Like,
oh, so
how's it magical?
Instead of smoke, it's tea.
Yeah.
Oh, so you just have like
inverted.
Everyone has these little tubes that they're sucking off of to get the tea from. Yeah, that works for me.
But it's at the bottom instead of the top of the hookah because liquid needs to go down.
Yeah. It's gravity fed. Yeah, and it's like bubbly and there's magic and cool. So this has an impact on all of you. What is the impact?
I'm flying kids around the city, so I'm not there.
I'll let you be back.
Oh, okay.
I feel like Arlene can fly kids around on her own.
All right.
Let's see. What if it gave a sense of like
absolute terror and dread
mixed with euphoria, though? So you're terrified as all get out. But you're happy
you are
about
terrified that things are going too well.
Exactly. It's like
guys,
things feel so good.
Guys,
it's too good.
I play this game to escape reality. Okay, I don't need it to be that real. All right. So I think there's terror and dread, but it's only when you look at something specific. What is that thing?
The bottom of the teacup.
Oh.
Okay,
An
so
empty teacup.
every time you see that teacup, there's this like, oh my gosh, and there's like this panic.
And you need to drink more tea.
And I think the panic and dread is that you think you are reading a fortune of your future, and so every time you're at the bottom of your teacup, you're like seeing like this potential future, and you're panicking to it.
There you go.
I think that's awesome. And I think that this is totally happening. Cool. So yeah, so you guys are sitting there drinking tea. Who likes the tea? Who hates the tea?
Kulweg hates this tea. He hates it. He does not like that feeling one iota. And it's just like,
What does he see when he peeks at the bottom of his cup?
oh, he sees himself in like his dad's position
Mm,
and is just absolutely terrified.
awesome. Cool. Yeah. Does he share that with the rest of the table, or is it just like he kind of startles and like puts the teacup down, takes more tea?
He's very adamant about the taste being bad. And everybody else is like, I don't know about that. And he's like, no, this tastes terrible.
So I like the idea that this tea is making you feel really euphoric until you hit the bottom of the teacup, and then it's like that startle. Cool. Yep. Love it. Awesome.
When I look into the bottom of my cup, what freaks me out the most is seeing the silhouette of a familiar person that should not be standing in front of me. And that's that kind of dreadful terror that, I think you know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And I definitely keep that close to my chest.
Cool. Yeah.
I know who that figure is. You know who that figure is. And it's like, that's seeing them in front of me is what I'm seeing in my vision.
Cool.
And they don't look happy.
It tastes good to Groth, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him the same way. Instead, everything's just going kind of green.
100%. I think actually your beard is actually becoming plants and flowers.
That works.
But your favorite flower isn't there. What is Grok's favorite flower?
Daisy.
Yeah, there's no daisies, and it's very disappointing.
Is it all like thorny vines?
What do you think?
I'm leaving that up to Groth. It's his
too.
delusion.
Yeah, everything's just getting like green tinged, and there's like vines, a few brambles, nothing like super sharp, but just feels like it's growing down a bit more. And it's like, I don't think this is really happening, but it's a look.
Got it. Cool. Anybody else have any experience they want to share?
I think Karlax is just generally confused by this because he's not used to things affecting him like they do everyone else.
Yeah.
He's just very like he's trying to put it together and it doesn't go together.
At the bottom of mine, so there is this feeling of freedom and release as I'm sipping on it. But once I get to the bottom, like a prison, like a cell door just slams shut. At the bottom.
Yeah.
Good feelings gone.
Yeah. Cool. So I think as everyone has poured their second round of drinks and starting to perk up again from kind of the depression of the first, Grok comes. Actually, it's not Grok. It's Grok's young daughter comes and sits down. Oh, why'd I do this to myself? So you're searching for information. What is it that you are looking for?
Well, we'd heard there was someone about who has a good deal of knowledge on the ancient crystals.
Oh, that's a very specific field. I think the archaeologist guild might have someone who could help you. But you're probably going to need access to the inner tier, which you're not able to just waltz into. That's where that level of information would reside.
Well, that I suppose presents another issue.
How does one get an audience with someone in the inner?
Well, it depends on the individual. If you think you could have a tech that could compete, as you know, we have what was the name of the competition? We didn't name it. As you know, we have Barquats battling
Feebles.
Beebles, where any and everyone can come with a piece of technology and compete and win the attention of some of the inner tier businesses and organizations. The Archaeologist Guild does have influence, and if you were able to win their approval, I'm sure that they might be able to make the right introductions for you. But there are multiple powerful organizations around New Barquat that you could win their favor or earn a debt from them and would be able to perhaps get the right introductions.
Could I flip a story point to have one of the children that that Arlene's been flying around, be a child of one of those such people?
To what end?
So the kid like tells the story to their parents about how awesome their day was
Mm,
and how excited they were for what it is to maybe at least get an audience.
yeah, 100%. Which one?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Is there someone specific that we wanted to try to influence? Like what type of tech do they have, basically? Perhaps maybe something that has to do with the cleaning of materials through magic, like maybe like things so like instant cleaning, like spot remover, things like that that
Okay.
can be used.
Is this a alchemy thing or is this a tech thing?
It's a kind of a tech thing, so it's like a little like almost like a little robot that cleans things for you.
Robot's a little powerful, but you basically so the person's invented a dirt devil.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's not a lot of like autonomous things walking around. Like the bioroids are pretty unique. Okay. So yeah, this little kid's parent invented the dirt devils. All right. So basically, coming back from sorry. Oh my! I gotta tell my parents about this. This was the most amazing ride ever.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, and so soft. But my parents are right over here. Do you want to come meet them?
Sure, would they like to meet Arlene?
Um, I'm sure Daddy will. I don't know about Mom. She has this thing about germs, and you just never quite tell with her.
Well, Arlene keeps herself fairly clean.
You're right. Okay, come on. And so it's going to lead you over, and there are two. There's a gnome and a dwarf sitting at a table, and they're just very friendly, laid back, just like everyone kind of around them's having a good time. They're just very welcoming energy here.
So we'll fly over there, and the son will be
That
carried.
okay, yeah, yeah. They're outside on the Emporium on like part of like the yeah, cool. Mom, Dad, look at what this is! Oh my goodness, I gotta go!
And Arlene very gently places him down right next to them, and she lands and folds her wings. And as I hop off her back,
Oh, I told you not to let him have candy. See, this is what happens when you get sugar into him. Oh, let the kid have fun. Blah 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 blah.
this is
And who might you be?
my name is Prang. I was
Oh,
providing entertainment on behalf of Grox.
it's a pleasure to meet you. And clearly, our little one loves your bat here. Does do they have a name?
This is Arlene.
What a lovely name. May I pet Ardine? I don't want to be forward.
And she'll put her head down.
And starts like scratching the chin. What a lovely animal.
Glad you like it. Your child said that you must meet her, and you are residents of here for a long time, yes?
Well, we are. We actually actually were rather successful in the B cubed. with one of our new inventions, actually. And so we've just recently moved up to the second rim, but this is kind of where we did a lot of our brainstorming. This is always going to be a little bit of home to us. So we always come back here because it feels right to be here.
Oh, that's wonderful. What is this invention that got you moved up in society?
Yeah, so actually it's my wife's invention. I'm gonna let her tell you about it. So actually I don't like I'm not gonna do that. So I don't actually like germs and dirt. I'm a little bit of a neat freak, us dwarves, that's just how we are. And so I invented this self actuating suction device for the removal of particulates of detritus and fur and excess, and so really kind of helps keep the area a little bit neater.
That sounds interesting.
Yes, we call it a dirt devil.
A devil, eh?
Yes, because it removes all the dirt.
Well, I would love to see this in action sometime and how it works. We are also we're seeking some information and we need someone that is in the know. And you sound like you're in the know, or at least have access to people who are in the know.
We, I mean, we're new, but we definitely have some connections. But I'm afraid that we can't just do that for you. There are expectations and standards.
Well, it was more about how we could do that as well. Are resourceful ourselves and could potentially provide some services as needed in the middle ring.
Like what?
And I will grab a Kulweg and push him forward.
I make various incendiary devices that might be assistance.
I mean, I feel like that's a fascinating talent. But to make it to the second tier, you're gonna have to go through the B cubed. We can't just introduce something like that at the second tier.
We're just looking to speak with people.
And as much as we'd like to help you, we can't just introduce you to people. That's not how this place works. Now, if you were to say become part of our company and do a task for us, then that would be a very different matter.
And prying a look over at Barnelby.
Yes?
What do you think? A little bit of side employment?
I don't think that would be a bad idea at all. Especially if it gets us where we need to go, of course.
Right. Is going to hand you a business card. It is on the first tier. This is one of our connection offices. We will meet you there tomorrow to discuss what you can do as contractors for our company. And if it goes well, I'm sure that we would be able to make the desired introductions.
Sounds enchanting.
Perfect. Well, it was lovely meeting you all. And thank you so much for showing our little one such a great time. But I'm afraid it's their bedtime, so we must be going. Um, and they're going to pack up and head out. It feels like everyone is very low energy. I am wondering if we want to keep trying to force this to go, or where are people at?
Be honest, please.
I can say I definitely fit in the low energy segment tonight.
Same. No, definitely for definitely
Yeah,
more obvious reasons than
today's been a long day as well, so I'm in the lower energy segment. Just not feeling great.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
Then why don't we call it? Because I feel like Eric is just like doing everything right now. And that's not meant to be a criticism. It's just acknowledging like
yeah.
we're not being a group, and that's not fun for you
He's
guys.
he's definitely pulling a
Yeah.
lot of weight right now. All of the weight.
Yes, the non-social scout who's a little bit of a loner but looks out for his pack is the one doing all of the socialization.
Just
Yeah.
trying to be inclusive.
Not wrong.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
No, I apologize.
we're not shaming anybody because it's not one person. So, but if we kept forcing it, I feel like it's just not going to be productive.
Or fun for the people that are not feeling it. So
Yeah.
I agree. I think we should pause here and pick it up when we're all feeling a bit better because it's only fun if people are having fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks, guys.
Well, thank you for running what you could and what you did. So.
No,
Mhm.
of course. We might. I mean, is everyone happy with the Dust Devil storyline?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
far,
Okay.
I
deliberately said a lot of things, and none of them were chosen, Mr. Dirt Devil. So
I like the way that we tell our story as a group. Just because, quiet, it's kind of, whatever. But I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm not phrasing this well. I was just trying to say that I was good with the way things were going. But if the group decision that we need to call it, that's okay too. So
yeah.
like
Yeah,
we got everybody introduced to the new area tonight.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that goal was accomplished for sure.
Yes, and that's why I decided now was the time to potentially stop, because this is when we're starting to do the storytelling, so to say.
Right. Yeah, I think next week we jump on it and get on top of it because, this week we had a little bit of housekeeping to take care of at top of the session. So
Not a big deal. A bunch of people are sick. A bunch of people are still recovering.
intro and outro music by the band 12 Noon. You can email us at meandsteverpg@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter and RPGs. Find us on Facebook at Me and Steve RPG Podcast, on Discord at Me and Steve RPGs, and as always, all of these links are in the show notes. Thank you, and be kind to one another.
How much for the cigar?
Cigar, $20, dog. You gotta go down the street to the store and buy that.